Hello, everyone. Thanks for the introduction, Jen. So I'm Alex. I'm the founder of Vue School, and I'm very excited to welcome you all today in the fourth episode of Vue.js Forge, where we are going to build a Kickstarter application together using the Web3 technology. This event is proudly sponsored by Kadena, our title sponsor, and as always, it is presented and brought to you by yours truly, Vue School. At Vue School, we teach Vue.js to developers through video courses and tutorials. And we also do a lot of other cool stuff, like the Vue.js certification that we are developing together in partnership with Evan You, the creator of the Vue.js framework. Over the years, at Vue School, we have produced over 900 lessons on all of the things on Vue.js and the ecosystem. And we keep releasing lessons every week. At Vue School, our philosophy is that the best way to learn code is to write a lot of code. And that's why we do a lot of different activities than just videos, like our intensive workshops that we are hosting at conferences in person, at companies, and also in our virtual classroom. Workshops are an intensive way to learn a full concept in a day instead of a month. And that is because the participants get to write a lot of code in order to solve the challenges that we provide in every workshop. I'm mentioning this because this is the idea and the seed of how we came up with a plan to create Vue.js Forge. Vue.js Forge is a unique event where you will get to write a lot of code. And in this talk, I'm going to explain the structure and what to expect from Vue.js Forge. So to get started, you can think of Vue.js Forge as if the Vue School workshops and the Vue School events like Vue Nation and Max Nation had a baby. That baby would be Vue.js Forge. So it's like a workshop, but in a massive scale. The Vue.js Forge is a series of live events where we build an application together, every time a different application. The goal of the events is to have fun, of course, write a lot of code, learn new things, and make friends from the community, which is a genuine concept that it is different in this event versus the classic online events that you might have been to. The first 3 episodes of Vue.js Forge were very successful, and we got to build a Trello clone, an e-commerce application, and an AI chatbot using ChatGPT. In the 4th episode of Vue.js Forge, which is the one we're here today, we are going to build a Kickstarter application using Web3. And I want to invite everybody to participate, and we can make this episode a big success together as well. So at this point, I want to address why we decided to choose the Kickstarter application to build using Web3 and not another technology. First of all, we figured that blockchain is a cool concept. It's a good idea that the data lives in a blockchain where it is transparent and publicly available instead of being owned by one company. We have also seen that the last couple of years, there are a lot of Web3 projects and a lot of new startups that they are built with Vue.js. So we see a lot of Web3 providers or tools and things in the Web3 ecosystem that are using Vue.js, which makes a lot of sense. And we want to bring the Vue developer community up to speed because we expect that you will face a lot of job opportunities or a lot of projects that you can contribute that are using Web3. Next, a good benefit of Web3 is that it offers low transaction costs in comparison to the regular payment processors and providers that we have in the regular web applications. Also, the Web3 market is currently growing rapidly. And lastly, the Web3 is a technology that we hadn't used previously, which was quite intriguing to try something new. So at this point, I want to mention that at Vue School, we are by no means Web3 experts, and preparing the Kickstarter application with Web3 was quite adventurous. We had to deal with a lot of challenges. We had to find, solutions and do things differently. And we ended up learning a lot of new things that we are looking forward to sharing with everyone at the conference to make your Web3 journey with Vue.js smoother. Of course, we couldn't put such a massive event together without having Web3 experts involved, and that's why we have partnered with Kadena, our title sponsor, who have offered us massive support on the technical side. They answered all of our questions, they helped us troubleshoot the application, they contributed to the code base, and they're also going to share their expertise with you through the next keynote after my talk. And also, we will have a live panel tomorrow where we will address concerns and questions from the community. So feel free to send everything our way, or tomorrow during the live panel, you can also participate. And they will also have a couple of live coding sessions to see how some Web3 advanced concepts can be implemented. Great. I also want to address that this event is also tailored for Web3 newbies. So if you are new to Web3, don't worry, you can follow along 100%. And we know that it might feel overwhelming in the beginning. Some things require a different mindset from the regular programming. So this is to be expected. Don't be overwhelmed, keep trying, and once you get the concept, you will be fine. We highly recommend you to ask your questions. So any problems you face, any bugs in your application, any things that you cannot get your head around, feel free to share it here in the conference platform, in Vito, in our Discord servers, or with the speakers during the live Q&A sessions. And we have all of the experts and the mentors here to address any concern and issue that you might face. And one last point to make here, we have made some exercises flexible. So you can choose which part of the exercise you want to focus. So you might want to make the UI more intuitive, you might want to work more with the integration side, or you can go deeper into the Web3. You will get details for all of this during the event. I'm just giving you the heads up to have this in mind, especially if you are new with Web3. Moving on, in the previous episodes of Vue.js Forge, we had over 20,000 people who signed up for our events. We had 7,000 developers who joined and coded along and ended up building real-world applications. We had thousands of people watching and tuning in just to see, the live coding and how other people handle stuff. And we had over 200 mentors who participate and they support the community with technical issues and consulting. So the community seems really, really excited with the Vue.js event so far. Today, in the fourth episode of Vue.js Forge, we're welcoming developers from 127 countries, with the top 5 being the USA, India, Germany, Brazil, and Poland. We also have developers for many notable companies. I had trouble choosing the top 6 to share here, which would be IBM, Verizon, Volkswagen, Salesforce, Netflix, and Deloitte. And as a fun fact, 75% of the attendees are of intermediate level and above. Once again, we have managed to make the Vue.js Forge episode free for everyone in the community. This is, of course, thanks to all of the amazing people who buy our courses and products at Vue School and support our work. Thank you so much for your support, guys. It is also made possible thanks to our amazing sponsors. And Vue.js Forge specifically also relies on product sponsors. And product sponsors are companies that allow us to use their technology in order to implement specific parts of the application. And in this episode, we're going to use Kadena as our blockchain infrastructure and Sauce Labs for powerful cross-browser testing. The Vue.js Forge event is divided in 2 days and 7 sessions. Each session begins with a prompt like this one. So when we start the session, you will be getting a Notion document that looks like this, which is your challenge or your ultimate quest for this session. So this is a specification of what you have to build. It might be a new feature, it might be altering an existing part of the application, or solving a bug, and who knows. So every session starts by everybody getting the spec from Notion, and then we will have our master of code introduce you to the exercise. And this is going through the spec, explaining in more detail, maybe showing what is the expected outcome once you are done. And then we proceed with getting questions from everybody who participates. Once we are fully covered with the exercise prompt, we proceed to the hands-on part. And this is you, everybody who joins as a coder. You get your own focus time on your computer, and you can solve the challenge, while you can also work with your team or get support from Discord and the forum and the mentorship program. After the hands-on time is done, we get back to the stream, and then we have experts from the community who will live code their own solution, and they will do a Q&A to answer questions on their approach or any other topics that you might want to discuss. And once we're done with that, we proceed to the next session and the next exercise. During the live coding sessions, our presenters will do their own solution. And this is one part that I find quite fascinating, is that all of these experts, they get the same spec as the participants do, and they have to come up with their own solution and live code this here during the event, which is very interesting from the developer perspective, that you get to see how other people solve the same challenge with their own approach. And you can also get access to their code, since we upload everything after the presentations on GitHub. And we also provide an official solution on our repository. So if you don't get to complete one exercise, don't worry, you can pick up where the previous person, you can pick up from the starting point, which will be on GitHub, and you can proceed with the next one and the next exercise without any issues. And then you can get back to on your own time later or in the future, because you do get access to all of the material. They're yours to keep forever. At Vue.js Forge, we also have the unique concept of the matchmaking that allows you to meet people from the community. This is a great way to make new developer friends and also to learn from others by asking your questions. We provide 2 approaches. You can chat with other people. We have Discord chat channels. As well, you can have a video call. You can share your screen if you want to show what's wrong with your code, or if you want to provide help to other people. And we highly recommend helping your teammates, especially if you are done with the exercise. It is a great way to learn topics deeper by trying to explain and transfer your knowledge to other people and within your team. The Vue.js Forge teams communicate in Discord. So if you have not redeemed your Discord ticket yet, Zen will provide you with more information later. And it's important to note that the team members work independently. So even though you can talk with your teammates, you can share your screen, you can work together, each team member should work on their own computer and solve the same exercise. So to summarize, at Vue.js Forge, we have 3 types of participants. We have people who join in teams. We have a lot of solo coders who go through the event on their own pace during these 2 days, and they are not in Discord, or they're not part of a team. And we have the audience who just join here to watch the event, the activities, and see how the experts live code the solutions to the challenges. And I can tell you that no matter which way you choose to participate, it's going to be a lot of fun, but we highly recommend that you join as a team and get the complete experience of Vue.js Forge. I also want to bring your attention to the mentors. These episodes of Vue.js Forge, we have 101 people who have joined us as mentors, and they're here to help out the participants by contributing their advice and expertise. And the mentors are awesome. We appreciate you, mentors, that you take the time to volunteer in these events. Thank you so much for coming, and we hope you will have great fun as well by both participating in the building and in the advising side. And in the fourth episode of Vue.js Forge, we have introduced a new way to get support and mentorship, and this is via our Vue.js Forge support forum in Discord, which looks like this. And here, whenever you have a technical problem, a bug, an issue with one of the services, a question that is technical, you can go in the forum, you can click new post or see if it's already answered, and then you can choose the tags, what is your problem about, post your question, and the mentors will help you resolve it as soon as possible, typically in just a couple of minutes. Awesome. And here I also want to thank all of the participants from the previous episodes for your feedback. This has been very valuable, and we have applied a lot of things. We applied changes in every episode, and also a reminder to complete the survey after this event, because we really value your opinion, and this helps us make our services better and constantly improve our products. And to mention that the fourth episode of Vue.js Forge runs on our improved recipe that includes dedicating coding time for its exercise, Discord forum for live support, dedicated text and audio channel for its team, simplified communication with mentors, and simplified exercise starting points. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our Master of Code, Daniel Kelly, who is the lead instructor at Vue School. And Daniel has led the preparation of the prompts and the code base, and will be guiding you through all of the exercises today and tomorrow. So good luck and have fun, Daniel. Awesome. So we're ready to get started. I will pass it back to Jen to provide more information about how things work under the hood and what actions you have to do to be fully up to speed with Discord and the challenges.
I'm muted. Y'all, you would think that by this is the fourth one that I've done. Alex, we got a question for you, but I have to unmute to be able to ask you a question.
Okay.
So do all of us, do we need to have previous experience with Vue or Web3, or do we have to be a Web3 developer to do Vue, or vice versa?
It's good to have previous Vue.js experience because all of the applications built with Vue.js, and since this is also focusing on Web3, we don't have the time to focus both on getting people up to speed with Vue.js and Web3, but previous Web3 experience is not required. So a Vue developer that has no idea about Web3, they should be able to follow along 100%. And we have created also some abstraction and some libraries in order to be able to support people that do not have experience with Web3 to choose how in depth they want to go.
Very cool. And to make sure, now, are there other uses for Vue.js and Vue Forge other than just Web3? Can I learn other things too, or am I just going to be this is for Web3 only?
That's a very good question. We're going to cover other topics as well. So we will have working with forms. We have form validation. We have exercises on using Tailwind CSS and styling in general. We also have cross-browser testing. So we do have a variety of topics, but Web3 is in the center of it. So everything is based on Web3, but a lot of exercises are independent and they don't touch Web3, or Web3 experience is not required.
Very cool. Thank you, Alex.
Awesome.